Hey,
Hi, Ken.
Jason.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Get Up with Ken and I. It's our last episode, actually.
Hola a todos, gracias por estar aquí para otro episodio de Get Up. En realidad, nuestro último episodio.
It's the grand finale.
Es el gran final.
Hmm. Wow, it's been an incredible journey.
Sí, ha sido un viaje increíble.
There's definitely been there's not been a dull moment.
Sí, definitivamente no ha habido un momento aburrido.
And it's interesting what I'm going to talk about today,
Y es interesante lo que voy a hablar hoy día,
because it really only came up this morning.
porque vino esta mañana.
Yeah. And so I think since last week, really.
Creo que desde la anterior semana
And I shared about the importance of being with my feelings.
y compartir lo importante que es estar con mis emociones.
And if they aren't aligned,
Y si no están alineadas,
then seemingly the world isn't aligned.
entonces aparentemente el mundo no está alineado.
And so these last couple of days have been incredible.
Entonces estos últimos días han sido increíbles.
And what I've loved is I've been practicing what we've been talking about on the episodes.
Y lo que amo es que he estado practicando lo que hemos estado hablando en los episodios.
And one of the things that we'd spoken about
Y una de las cosas que hemos estado hablando
was last week about being defenseless
ha sido la anterior semana acerca de ser indefenso
and not needing to defend ourselves in any situation.
sin tener necesidad de defendernos en ninguna situación.
And from that, many miracles have been coming.
Y desde ahí muchos milagros han empezado a venir.
And that has actually created new reflections.
Y eso en realidad ha creado nuevos reflejos.
And I feel like Jesus has been saying to me, yeah, the old way is over.
Y siento que Jesús me ha dicho que la antigua manera se acabó.
And so last night I had a dream,
Entonces anoche tuve un sueño
and the dream was about rejection.
y el sueño era acerca del rechazo.
Okay, I think Deborah's back.
Yeah, I'm
You're
back.
back. Okay, wonderful. And so basically the dream was that there was 5 of us working as a team.
Entonces, en realidad el sueño era acerca de 5 de nosotros trabajando como equipo
And we all knew each other.
y todos nos conocíamos,
But one of the team members was always rejecting me.
pero uno de los miembros del equipo siempre me estaba rechazando.
And whenever I turned up, the person was like,
Y cada vez que me daba la vuelta, la persona estaba como,
not wanting to like respond to me.
no respondiéndome.
And I was trying to be helpful,
Y estaba tratando de ser útil,
but nothing was working.
pero nada estaba funcionando.
So then I just withdrew away.
Entonces, simplemente yo me retiré.
But because we were a team, we were working on something.
Pero porque éramos un equipo, estábamos trabajando en algo.
We had to be together.
Teníamos que estar juntos.
So I was trying to stay away from the person, not
Entonces,
stand next to them.
estaba tratando de estar lejos de esa persona, no estar cerca,
But nothing felt good. I was trying to basically people please, like, okay, give the space because
pero nada se
Yeah.
sentía bien, estaba básicamente complaciendo, era como que da espacio,
the interaction wasn't good.
porque la interacción no era buena.
And it woke me up at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Y me despertó a las 3 de la mañana.
And so I thought, okay, it's just another round of rejection, abandonment.
Y dije, bueno, es otra ronda de rechazo y el abandono.
And now I see it more as like, okay, it's just another cleansing.
Entonces ahora veo como que, bueno, es otra limpieza.
So I'm really more, I'm just sitting with how that feels, the
Entonces
feelings.
simplemente me estoy sentando cómo se sienten estas sensaciones.
And I sat there for several hours.
Y me senté con eso por varias horas.
And it all sort of dissipated.
Y todo desapareció.
And so I went to rest again.
Entonces fui a descansar de nuevo.
But every time I did this, I went back into the same dream.
Pero cada vez que hacía esto, iba de nuevo al mismo sueño.
Another layer, and then then I woke up.
Otra capa y después me despertaba.
Okay, sit with it again.
Y era como, bien, sí, siéntate de nuevo con eso.
So this was basically my whole early morning.
Entonces, básicamente esto ha sido toda mi mañana.
And so I then got up,
Y luego me
Already.
levanté, me alisté
and I was sitting,
y estaba sentado.
and I still didn't feel this was resolved in my mind. There was still some energy around it all.
Y seguía sintiendo que esto no estaba resuelto. En mi mente había una energía todavía.
And I started sitting with it,
Y me empecé a sentar con eso.
and then the word came into my mind, abuse.
Y luego vino la palabra en mi mente, abuso.
And I just started feeling all these feelings down the left side of my body, really.
Y luego empecé a sentir estos sentimientos en la parte izquierda de mi cuerpo.
And my heart started beating.
Y mi corazón empezaba a palpitar.
And so I thought, oh, great, I've found something here.
Y dije, genial, encontré algo aquí.
And I was just sitting with it,
Y simplemente estaba con ello.
and it was as if my body was like contorting.
Y era como que mi cuerpo lo sostenía.
And it was just this dark abuse,
Y había este abuso tan oscuro,
but there was nothing specific to it. It wasn't like I had a story that went with the abuse.
pero no había nada específico, no había una historia que se relacionaba con el abuso.
It was like as if I was just looking at the ego's abuse, really. That's what it felt like.
Era como si estuviera mirando el abuso del ego, así era como se sentía.
And then from that, it was like, then I saw like the abuser, yeah?
Y desde eso vi al abusivo.
And then it was like them two were together,
Y luego estaban los dos juntos.
of how the ego wants to be the abuser
Como el ego quiere ser el abusador
and the ego wants to be abused.
y el ego quiere ser abusado.
And I was just sitting with this,
Y yo estaba con esto.
and I was just feeling how sick it was.
Y yo estaba sintiendo cuán enfermo se sentía.
And part of me was like grateful. It was almost like I'd sort of gone down to another level.
Y parte de mí estaba agradecido, era como que estaba en otro nivel.
And it was like I could feel like it was imprisoning me.
Y yo podía sentir cómo me aprisionaba.
And so there was a part of me that was saying, oh, I'm so glad I'm seeing this.
Y había una parte que decía, ay, estoy tan feliz de que estoy viendo esto.
And so through it, I was remembering this isn't truly who I am.
Y también estaba recordando, esto no es realmente lo que soy.
Just to observe it and allow it to truly be what it wants to be,
Simplemente observarlo y dejarlo que sea lo que realmente es,
without moving away from it.
sin alejarme de eso.
And I wasn't able to cry and really get into the emotion, but I could feel that there was something there.
No podía ser capaz de llorar y entrar realmente en la emoción, pero podía sentir lo que había ahí.
And I started thinking about I had the show,
Y empecé a pensar, tengo este show.
and I thought, wow, I really, really need to clear this.
Y yo decía como, realmente necesito aclarar esto.
Because I think somehow there was something that was like personal about it actually at the time now.
Porque de alguna manera se sentía como algo personal.
And so Jason came to mind,
Entonces Jason se me vino a la mente.
and something was saying, I've just got to tell someone about this.
Y simplemente sentí como si tengo que decirle esto.
And so literally I just sent the message. I just wrote out my message. Hey, God, are you available?
Y literalmente escribí mi mensaje, oye, ¿estás disponible?
And it was literally, I just pressed the button,
Y literalmente presioné el botón.
and then the emotion just went bang. I just started crying.
Y la emoción vino como, vean, simplemente empecé a llorar.
I was just like grateful you were there or something. It was like deep, like.
Estaba como que tan agradecido que esto estaba ahí, se sintió profundo.
Yeah, I just felt so grateful that you were there.
Simplemente me sentí tan agradecido que tú estabas ahí.
And like I knew that you were going to be there as well.
Y también como que yo sabía que también
It's
ibas a
like
estar
weird.
ahí. Era
And then
como
straight
raro.
away you responded
Y en ese momento tú respondiste,
because I was saying, can we meet in half an hour?
porque yo estaba diciendo, podemos unirnos en media hora.
And you said, well, I've got 5 minutes now.
Y tú dijiste, tengo 5 minutos ahora.
And I'm like, I'm not sure if this is 5 minutes worth, but we can have a go.
Y yo dije, no sé si vale la pena por 5 minutos, pero le podemos dar un chance.
But it really felt, and then as soon as I got on the call with him,
Y tan pronto me uní en la llamada con Jason,
then I cried again.
volví a llorar.
And that really felt like the release.
Y realmente ahí se sintió la liberación.
And so we briefly spoke.
Entonces hablamos brevemente.
And he said, this is perfect for the show.
Y él dijo, esto es perfecto para el show.
And so it actually felt really shaming for me as well. I was like, oh my, how can I share this?
Y también se sintió muy vergonzoso para mí. Era como, ay, Dios mío, ¿cómo voy a compartir esto?
But somehow something felt good.
Pero de alguna manera algo se sintió bien.
Because for me in my heart,
Porque para mí en mi corazón,
I've always wanted to share what doesn't get shared
siempre quiero compartir lo que no se comparte
about the journey.
acerca del viaje, del
Because
camino.
I would want to know myself what I need to face.
Porque quiero saber lo que necesito enfrentar.
So I felt, because it's almost like the ego says, this is a reflection upon you.
Porque es como que el ego dice, este es un reflejo de ti.
You share this is what you are.
Tú compartes esto, esto es lo que eres.
But it felt, and also like the weakness, like feeling abused. I was like, oh my God, you just sound so weak. That's just the worst thing you can say ever.
Y también la debilidad es como que, oh my God, oh Dios mío, tú te sientes como tan débil, es lo peor que puedes compartir.
But something feels liberating, really, to talk about it.
Pero hay algo que se siente muy liberador de hablar acerca de ello.
And so, yeah, that's where we got to. And I remember you said, oh my God, this feels so, you felt it in your heart. You said, oh my God, this is so deep.
Y tú me dijiste, ay, sí, eso se siente muy profundo para compartir.
Yeah, so it felt worth exploring together, really, with everyone.
Entonces realmente se sintió que valía la pena explorarlo con realmente todos.
Yeah, I had a board meeting, so we only had 5 minutes.
Sí, yo tenía una junta directiva, entonces solo teníamos 5 minutos.
So do you have a sense of, like, when you were going into that emotion, what it was? Like, what's going on? What's the thoughts? Just rejection and...
Yeah, really, it doesn't...
¿Tienes un sentimiento acerca de lo que estabas experimentando, lo que estabas pensando, sintiendo? ¿Puedes tal vez contarnos un poco más?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where it's come from, the thoughts.
No estoy 100% seguro de dónde vienen los pensamientos.
But what did you want to join with me about? Like, what was it?
Well,
Pero ¿de qué era lo que sentías unirte conmigo?
I just felt like the need to share it. I just felt the need to share, like, about those ideas that were in my mind. That was really the main thing.
Simplemente necesitaba esa sensación de que necesitaba compartirlo. Eso era lo principal.
Because I could see it was in the background, and then I felt like I wouldn't be clear to be able to talk to you here.
Porque simplemente sentía que estaba como que en la parte trasera y que necesitaba tener claro, porque si no, no podía compartir contigo acá.
Well, in actual fact, if we go back a little bit, maybe there's another thought.
Bueno, si vamos un poco atrás, hay otro pensamiento.
I had this opening.
Tuve esta apertura.
And this was another morning I woke up.
Y esta es otra mañana en la que me desperté.
And it was around the maintenance that we're doing here, the construction.
Y era acerca de la construcción, el mantenimiento que estamos haciendo acá.
And I could see there was a slight dip in my attitude.
Y podía ver que había esta pequeña actitud.
It wasn't like completely off, but it was okay, let's just get on with it. So it was more like a work mentality. Yeah, okay, let's just get on with this and get it done.
No es que mi actitud mi actitud estaba fuera de lugar, pero era como que esta motivación de simplemente lo hagamos y trabajemos en ello.
And it wasn't coming from joy.
Y no venía desde la alegría.
And so I sat with that,
Entonces me contuve con ello
and I could really feel this sort of attitude wanting to cling on to the past.
y quería ver esta actitud que se quería aferrar al pasado.
And I've seen this and I've had this reflection pretty much all of my life. You've got a bad attitude.
Y lo he visto casi toda mi vida de tú tienes una mala actitud.
And so I was sitting with that
Entonces estaba con ello
and saying, no, I really, really don't want this.
y sentía realmente no quiero esto.
And with that, it was as if these doors opened up in my mind,
Y era con eso como estas puertas se abrieron en mi mente.
and behind it was complete joy.
Y atrás de ello había dicha completa.
It was like stepping into a room of joy,
Era como que entrar en un cuarto de dicha.
and my mind got frightened and shut the doors. I went, oh my God, I'm not going in there.
Y mi mente se asustó y dije como, ay Dios mío, yo no voy a entrar ahí.
And I came out of it and I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Y después era como, ay Dios mío, esto es increíble.
Behind this attitude, bad
Detrás,
attitude, we'll call it,
detrás de esta actitud, mala actitud la llamaría,
was this complete joy.
hay esta dicha completa.
And I'm not fearful of my bad attitude. I'm actually fearful of this joy.
Y no tengo miedo de esta mala actitud, tengo miedo de esta dicha.
So then I was like really excited about undoing this bad attitude.
Entonces después estaba emocionado de realmente deshacer esta mala actitud.
So I was like, wow, this is incredible. Oh my God, this is behind everything.
Y yo dije, wow, esto es increíble, esto está detrás de todo esto.
And I thought, this related to our show, Jason, as well.
Y yo dije, esto se relaciona con nuestro show, Jason.
Because the prayer was to reach supreme happiness.
Porque la oración era alcanzar la alegría suprema.
And I felt Jesus opened that door and said, hey, here it is. And I said, no, thank you.
Y yo siento como que Jesús abrió esa puerta y me dijo como que, oye, aquí está. Y yo le dije, no, no, gracias.
And I think it's almost from that,
Y creo que es desde ahí,
it's like these other layers of sort of like then started to come in from that.
todas estas otras capas, todo empezó a venir desde ahí.
Almost like the egos come in and trying to use new things to stop me, basically.
Es como que el ego está viniendo con cosas y parándome.
Because of course we can all tell a story of abuse,
Porque claro, todos podemos decir una historia del abuso,
but it doesn't feel like that's that. Yeah, it just feels like this. It's almost like an entity. Yeah,
porque no se siente que, es esa historia o esta, se siente como una entidad.
it just feels like this destructive part
Se siente como que esta parte destructiva,
that is abusive and is an abuser.
que es un abusador y es abusivo y
And
es
it's
abusado.
like somehow I just opened up that door,
Y de alguna manera simplemente abrí esta puerta
and it was just like, wow, this is what's been like ruling me.
y dije, wow, esto ha sido lo que me ha estado gobernando.
Yeah. So it really doesn't feel completely specific to like this is the reason why.
Y realmente no se siente que hay algo específico de esta es la razón por esto.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a hurt underneath the bad attitude,
Hay un dolor debajo de esa mala actitud.
or you could say anger, right?
Mm.
O podrías decir ira, ¿verdad?
Like David told me years ago,
David me dijo hace años
it takes a lot of trust and faith to let the anger up.
que
Mm.
toma mucha confianza permitir que esa ira se eleve.
I mean, I don't know that I ever really gave myself permission to let the anger up in a kind of a volatile way.
Mm.
No sé si me di permiso de realmente sacar esa ira de una manera volátil,
But I would notice like this victim mentality,
pero notaba esta mentalidad de víctima.
or like they don't care about me, they don't support me.
O no les importo, no me apoyan.
I'm being forced into something.
Se me está forzando a hacer algo.
Whereas with you, I think it's a little more out there a lot of times.
Pero
Can be,
contigo
yeah.
siento que está mucho más afuera, allá, muchas veces.
Which I have to say, I kind of admire that you gave yourself permission to do that.
Que tengo que decirte, de cierta manera admiro que te hayas dado el permiso de hacer eso,
Because it's like you're not trying to have such a strong self-concept of being spiritual.
porque no estás tratando de tener un concepto tan fuerte de ser espiritual,
Which just really is like a fast track to the awakening.
y eso realmente es una vía rápida para el despertar.
Like you've just given yourself over every week right now
Te estás entregando cada semana
to just facing everything that you left behind in need of healing when you left community.
enfrentando cada cosa que dejaste atrás cuando te fuiste de la comunidad que aún necesitabas sanar.
So somehow I think you made a prayer,
Pero siento que de alguna manera hiciste una oración.
like to just give me everything.
Solo dame todo.
So right when something's healed and you experience this miracle,
Justo cuando algo sana, experimentas este milagro.
you're kind of like, okay, I can take more.
Y estás como, ok, puedo tomar más.
So Jesus is like, great, let's use this time well.
Y Jesús dice, genial, usemos este tiempo muy bien.
And then he starts another round.
Y empieza otra ronda.
And there's no time between rounds,
Y no hay tiempo en medio de estas vueltas o rondas
you know, to do a little jig or a dance like I did it.
para hacer un pequeño baile.
It's more like, yeah, there'll be no pride here.
Es como que no habrá orgullo aquí.
I'm doing everything.
Yo estoy haciendo todo.
All credit goes to me, your true self, Jesus,
Todo el crédito va a ti, a tu verdadero ser, a Jesús,
who doesn't really need any credit.
que realmente no necesita nada de crédito.
And then you're just back in the healing again.
Y estás de nuevo en la sanación.
So I was just thinking that, we're
Estaba
never
pensando.
upset for the reason that we think.
Nunca estamos disgustados por la razón que creemos.
And underneath the irritation or the anger
Y debajo de la irritación o la ira
is this hurt.
está este dolor.
Like for me, it's like a movie,
Para mí se siente como una película,
like fear of failure.
como miedo a fracasar.
I'll just, if I go deep enough,
Si voy lo
before
suficientemente profundo,
I hit the love or the gratitude,
antes de que llegue el amor o la gratitud,
I have to go through this layer of you're a loser.
tengo que pasar por esta capa de eres un perdedor.
You screwed this up and that up and this up.
Arruinaste esto, aquello y el otro.
I mean, and even before that, it's you or the other person screwed this up or that.
Incluso antes de eso es que tú o aquella persona echó a perder esto, el otro.
Then underneath that is self-attack.
Pero debajo de eso siempre es un autoataque.
And then it's just like, oh, I screwed up. I'm a failure. I'll never get this.
Y después es como, oh, fracasé, soy un fracaso, nunca voy a entender esto.
But it feels good,
Pero se siente bien.
like to just have the emotion and the thoughts and everything up in awareness.
Permitir los pensamientos, sentimientos y todo en la conciencia.
And then I kind of can settle into the miracle.
Después es que me puedo sentar en el milagro.
And I don't know, just like everything's working together for good.
No sé, es como un sentimiento de que todo está obrando para mi bienestar.
And if I can keep that state of mind a priority,
Si puedo permanecer con este estado mental como una prioridad,
it could be a few days of lots of insights.
podrían ser varios días con muchas revelaciones.
Like today's lesson, forgiveness offers me everything that I want.
Como la lección de hoy, el perdón me ofrece todo lo que deseo.
Oh, well, that means I'm not I have to watch my interest in this, and this.
Y digo, ok, tengo que observar mi interés en esto, esto y el otro.
Almost like you're a different person.
Es casi como que eres una persona distinta.
yeah, so I resonate with that idea of like just because we a hurt underneath.
Resueno con esa idea de que hay un dolor debajo,
Because when you first called me, you didn't give me many specifics.
porque cuando me llamaste al principio no me diste muchos específicos.
You just said I had a dream and I was rejected.
Solo me dijiste, tuve un sueño y se me rechazó.
Then you burst into tears.
Después empezaste a llorar
And then briefly said there's abuse there somewhere.
y después dijiste, hay abuso ahí, en algún lugar.
But yeah, I just felt like that.